Today I thought it would be fun to take you along to plan with me for next week. So I grabbed a cup of coffee and to be honest, I just stuck it in the microwave to heat it up again. I don't know about you, but I either want my coffee burning hot or ice cold. Anything in between is just weird and gross. But I heated up my coffee, so grab you a coffee, hang out with me while I plan. I show you how I go about it, and I hope that this is helpful and enjoyable for you guys. I'm going to turn it around and I will show you my planner and how I go about planning for my week of homeschool. So, hey, my name is Adrian. I am a homeschool mom of 3. I have a 7-year-old, a 6-year-old, and a 2-year-old this year. So I will be planning for first grade, second grade, and then some very gentle preschool. So let me show you what I do. So this year I am using an Anna Vance planner. I actually won a gift card last year to the Anna Vance store, and this is what I chose. I am not sure all the details of what it is. If I think about it, I will try to go back and look at my order and show you the exact things that I did. But I got this beautiful cover this year. This really just made me think of our garden that we do. I was definitely in the mood to start our garden when I ordered this. So I am just going to plan for the week. So I did mine where I have all the months in the beginning and then the weeks back here. I'm still not sure if I like it that way. It works, but I think I might prefer having my weeks right behind each month. But this works for now. Okay, and then I also got this layout. I love this layout where it has the larger section up top and then the smaller boxes at the bottom. I wasn't exactly sure how I was going to use it, and to be honest, I had to stare at this for a long time to figure out how I wanted to use it. But this is last week. I'm going to set up a new week and I will tell you all about how I lay this out. So I've got my friction pens here. These are my favorite. I also have these friction fine liners that I like as well, but I've been using these mostly. These are just the friction ball pens that you can click. So I am going to start at the top and write out all my subjects. Okay, so I just went along the top, and these big sections I like to use for all my different subjects. So I have preschool, poetry, science, music, art history, this one is for geography and studio art, and then just some notes about how the week went or random things that I need to do for next week. I like to lay out these the way that I like to lay out my day. So we start with our Bible. I'll do preschool if we do it that day, and then we'll do our morning time, which is really just like our morning basket, our family subjects, and then I will work individually with my older children. I have a blank column here, and then anything extra that we do. And then down the side here will just be the days of the week. Okay, so that's how I set up initially my planner. Now this week is actually going to be really easy for me to plan because we kind of had a lighter week last week. If I flip back here, the way that I like to set up this top here is I go through all of the teacher's manuals and things, and I write down a list of what needs to be done for the week. Now we had co-op, and I also had an appointment on Wednesday, so we kind of had a half day here, and all we did was Bible and read on this day. So we need to finish this week of school this coming week. So what I'm going to do is I am going to pull from this list that I've already created anything that we didn't finish and put it into next week. So what I would normally do is I would come here and I would go through my daughter's gentle and classical preschool, and I would write down the book that we're reading, the letter that we're going over, the color for that week, and the math concept that we are working on. And then for our poetry, it's pretty much the same, but I like to write it down so I can check it off. I'll just write the lesson number, we need to narrate it, and then there is a coloring sheet with some copywork on it. And then I can ask them, does the poem teach us anything? And we'll do 2 of those in a week. We'll probably move on to the next ones because we did finish this. And then our science lesson, science we are using under the home, and it has been wonderful, but there are so many things that you can do. So I like to just write them all out, and if we get them all done, then that's great. If not, then I can do like I do this week, and we're just going to spend 2 weeks learning about beetles. So I will pull the things that we didn't finish and put it on next week. Same thing for music. We did listen to it and do the synopsis, but we didn't do any of the extras. So we'll just do extras for music. And then art history, all we did was the coloring page, and I read a little bit about the artist, which I did not check that off. So we can do some of the extras here. And then for history, we are going to move on with history because we finished everything. Geography and studio art have not been happening like I like, so I didn't even write it down for this week. I knew that it was going to be a busy week. So hopefully I can fill that in and do it this week. Okay, so I filled in all of the top pieces here. So we're just going to repeat this week for Gentleman Classical Preschool. We only read the book maybe one time last week. And then I wrote in the new lessons for poetry, and then I made a note here on my sticky note to go ahead and print out those coloring pages that go with it. The items that we didn't finish for science, so we normally look up some videos about what we're learning, we classify it, and then they have a sheet to label what we're learning about. And then there was a poem and a nature walk. And then I also have a bug sensory kit that I'd like to pull out that they can play with if they want. This is just a reminder to pull them out. I wrote down our music and what we didn't finish. We're just going to go over the vocabulary again, and then there is an exhibition art piece that we're going to do. We've been doing an art piece for each music composition that we've listened to, and so at the end of it we will have our own exhibition of art, and then find Paris on the map because that's where there are catacombs. And then our art history, we don't have much. We'll just spend a few minutes on that this week. And then this is just very basic of what I'd like to do, but I'd like to start the On Mission Netherlands. Then I made a note here to finish prepping it. I printed it out, but I haven't finished prepping anything. And then just what we're going to read. We've been reading Stories of Pilgrims and the Dutch Twins book. And I'm sure we will add some kind of craft here, but I haven't decided what that is yet. I will pull up my little Pinterest board here in a minute and see if I want to fill anything in there. And then I just wrote in the geography lesson we're going to do, which is talking about the directions, and then our studio art lesson I filled in here. So then I just have my little notes here. I also need to find any of the fun little worksheets that I have for the Tuttle Twins books we'll read this week. Now, after that, I just go in here and fill out these sections very loosely. So I know every morning we're going to read theology. And then we will also do a poem from Sing a Song of Seasons every morning. And we do this with breakfast. And then I will use pink for my little girl for preschool. And I don't really plan anything out because I really just follow her lead. But I will write the days that I want to try and read the story with her. It suggests reading it every day, like 5 in a row to row the book, but we might read it 2 or 3 times a week. So my goal is to do 3 times a week. And then it has some memory statement cards, which my daughter actually really likes. Those are her favorite part. So we try to do that every day. Okay, and then really for our morning time, I really just put in that we do our morning menu and we do our poetry. And then we'll also do our morning basket, but that's really just whatever I pull out of our basket. And that will be for every day except for Tuesday. Tuesday are our enrichment days. We'll either go to co-op or we will do some different things like geography and studio art and Tuttle Twins and things like that. So I will fill that one out in a minute, but I'm going to fill in all of these. And then our family subjects, we don't do everything every day. So I think we're going to start the week with history. and our art history. And then again, we're going to skip over Tuesday. I'll come back to that one in a minute. And then we'll do science. And we'll do music. And then we will repeat and we'll do history and art. And then science and music. I should have closed this book. It's really hard to write over this spiral. Well, that one's not so pretty. Okay, so that is all I will do for those 4 days. And then for morning time on Tuesdays, we will typically read Tuttle Twins. We will, actually we'll come over here and we'll do our logic and our studio art. And we will also do geography. And then along with Tuttle Twins, I will probably just pick a different book, like a picture book or something to do with that. In fact, I'll write that. We just keep it light. We don't do our menu, we don't do our hymn study, we don't do any of that. We'll just read Tuttle Twins and then do these few things. And these really only take about 5 or 10 minutes each. So it will be a shortened day. And then I will make myself a note over here to make a copy of our logic puzzles. And then that's really all that I will do. I don't fill in for the week the individual subjects over here. We will just pick up the next lesson and I will write them in the morning, kind of reverse planning. I find that if I write out all the subjects for their individual subjects, then we will miss something and it will mess up my whole plan. Whereas this, the reason that this works so well for me is I plan to do history and I plan to do art, but I don't have a specific what we're doing. We might only do the vocab on that day, or we may only do the can you find a game with it, or maybe we'll only read one of our stories, and that's fine. I can check it off at the top here and check that we did history. Or if we don't do it, I know that we have another day to do it. It doesn't feel so strict to me. And then I will just reverse plan for their individual subjects. And the only extra things that we have here that I know of is they go to Rangers on Wednesdays. And I think that's it for extras. And then I will take my little sticky note here and I'm going to go and make copies of everything that I need. And I have another folder I will show you that I like to put all my copies in that is very helpful to stay organized throughout the week. Okay, so I went ahead and made copies, and now what I have is one of these little folders from Walmart. It just has, let's see, like 6 tabs here, and so each tab is just a folder. It'll have a pocket on each side. And so what I like to use this for is I've gone through and labeled it Monday through Friday and then done in the back. So all of these things that I have printed out, all of the coloring pages for poetry or science pages that we have, I will go ahead and stick those in the days that I think we're going to do them. That way I don't have just stacks of papers that I have to go through each day to figure out what we're going to do. And that also helps me figure out if I have too much planned coloring sheet or writing for one day. So I will go in here and I like to read our poem and narrate it one day and then the next day do the coloring and the copy work. So this is lesson 14. I need lesson 13 first. And so I'm going to put that, we're going to read it on Monday and then not Tuesday, Wednesday we'll do the coloring sheet And then we'll read the next poem on Thursday and do a coloring sheet on Friday. If all goes well, some days I will pull it from a different day if that just doesn't work out. And then I printed them each off 2 of their logic puzzles. And I will put that in here for Tuesday. And then they are both still doing alpha phonics. My 2nd grader is almost done. He's on his last few lessons, but I just pull out the sheets that they're going to be using for that week, and I will, they don't fit in these sleeves in a pocket, but I put them up on the cover with just a little paper clip here so that they are ready as well. They just don't fit in a pocket in my planner or in this folder, so I don't know if you can see, but then I could just fold it and they're ready. I did go through and I pulled out our next Tuttle Twins book and I printed off the parent guide. Now you definitely don't need this. I just got this in a bundle that was a steal of a deal, and I got all of the printables and the audio with it. My kids do like the coloring sheets and stuff, but we aren't going to get far enough in it on Tuesday to go over any of this just yet, so I will wait to do that. But I did want to show you a super cheap and easy way to put these together. I don't particularly like putting everything in binders, and I don't necessarily want to use my Pro Click for something that's only a few pages. So I had bought these, they're like essay covers or essay sleeves, and I bought a huge pack of them probably 2 years ago for this very reason. I didn't have a binding machine, so I just put it in here. It's just got a sleeve, a plastic sheet in the back and a plastic sheet in the front, and then you just put this piece, it just slides over top of it. And I think it says you can fit about 20 sheets in here. So I've used this for poetry, things that I printed for free. I've used this for I cannot talk today. I have used this for a few free unit studies, for Tuttle Twins, and I think I'm also going to use it for my own mission book from Gentle and Class book that I just printed off behind me here. So I printed it all out, but I didn't prep it, and I really need to because I plan to do this next week. But I printed it, and I'm thinking it's thin enough that I can stick it in one of these sleeves. And that way I will have it together. I won't lose the pages, but I also won't have to put it in a binder or a folder. So I need to do that. And then I also have some of the extras that are in here. So we're doing On Missions Netherlands, and then I have a few of their paper dolls that I printed out, some of their map work, and just some of the fun extra things that it comes with that I need to finish prepping for my kiddos to do next week. Other than that, let me see if I can show my face here. Other than filling out my planner, and I need to prep this On Mission, I did all the copies for the week. Normally I will go through and pull out the next preschool picture book and any books that are related to the science topic that I may have, science books or history books for history picture books that go with our topic for the month. I have already done that because it was for last week and I don't have to do anything else. So that is how I prep for a week of school. Like I said, I will link in advance down below. I will try to link what I chose for my specific planner, but I am loving it. I will say that next year I probably don't need all the fancy extras that come in the beginning of this, but I didn't know how I was going to use it. So I will link all of that. I hope that this was helpful. I feel like I'm a little scatterbrained. I am definitely behind on planning for this month, so I feel all over the place. But now that I have prepped a little bit, I'm going to prep my On Mission for this month. I think I will feel a little better mentally for the rest of this month. I hope this was helpful. Let me know how you're planning, what your favorite planner is. I love looking at planners, so if you have a favorite planner, let me know down below so that I can check it out. Maybe I'll use it next year. Bye guys.